Hey guys, what's going on? It's Coach Key at Key Sports Performance coming back to you today with episode number 2 of Strength, Love, and Sports. Again, I appreciate you guys checking us out, listening to what I have to say. I'm going to try to break this up into a 2-part series. This first part is for you athletes out there. The second part is going to be towards coaches and parents and how we can kind of blend and play off of this subject for today. As you can see in the title bar, it's called Congratulations, I think. So hopefully this makes you think and makes you athletes think a little bit, and possibly some parents to take a different take on our successes and our failures today. So again, thanks again for joining. We'll jump into it. First off, I want to congratulate the Lido baseball team and the Lady Cats softball team for making it to the second round of the playoffs this year. I know that a lot of you guys are sitting there and saying, congratulations for what? You know, we didn't quite get to the goal that we set out for. Lady Cats, just for anybody that doesn't know about you guys, they won the state title the last 2 years. Lido baseball, you guys won it 2 years ago, went back to state playoffs last year before getting beat out a little bit earlier. And so just to kind of give a little bit of history on that. So I know that you guys have been hearing this over the last couple of days, you know, and you athletes are probably saying, you know, stop telling us that we lost, we didn't hit our goals. Well, guess what? I'm going to tell you again, congratulations, but not for the reasons that you think. Should we celebrate our small victories? Yep, for a moment we should, because sometimes you go through a season and you have like half your starters hurt, you got injuries, you've got people out, you got different things that go on throughout the year that can make it difficult to get even back into the playoffs sometimes. Sometimes we have great teams and we just don't make it because of things that are external factors that are outside of our control. So again, congratulations to getting back to that and the little small victory that is of getting into the playoffs. I know that you're sitting there right now saying, so what? Yeah, it's still not state. We didn't win state. That was our goal. And guess what? You're absolutely right. And that's what I'm congratulating you about. You know, your parents, the coaches, all those guys are telling you guys congratulations out of support for what you do. And they should. That's their role. That's what we're here for. I'm telling you guys congratulations for failing. And I know that's kind of hard to fathom, so I'm going to let that sink in for a minute. So where did you guys fail? Most of you guys are sitting there right now going through 15,000 different scenarios of, well, we didn't hit well, we didn't pitch well, our base running was terrible. You're coming up with all these different scenarios of what you did right or didn't do right, and, you know, a lot of execution things. Well, guess what? Failed execution is part of the game. Both teams are going to do it. You just try to do it less than the other one. So, no, that's not where you failed. Anyone want to guess? It's complacency. You see, I had the privilege of working with a lot of the Lido baseball guys this offseason, mainly the younger guys, but I did have a few of the starters for the varsity. And I listened throughout the offseason, them talking about the different teams and that they'd be playing, and I listened to some of the comments that they made about these teams and who they'd be facing, you know, and I hope they were right. But being a former coach, being a former player, seeing the immaturity that was going along with that, and that's just part of it, guys. I'm not talking bad about you. That's just, it is what it is, and that's why we're here. We're here to help you guys get past that, mature into young men, and that's what this is about. So, you know, keep an open mind as I go through the rest of this. You know, there were some comments like, you know, we always fall behind the playoffs. We always come back. We find a way out. We've done it for 2 years now. You know, I asked this last week how they felt going into Wichita Falls Rider. I was given the answer, we stroked their number 1 and 2 guys last year and won 7-3, so we're going to be fine. So I hope you guys can see where this is going. But if you guys remember during the offseason, you know, we talked a lot about developing a culture for baseball, and I still don't think that a lot of you guys understand what that culture is. You know, one that would, you know, help each of you guys, you know, push each other to new heights, give you confidence in the man sitting next to you. You know, I'm hoping that you guys had that this weekend, but I guarantee you didn't. You know, I guarantee you were probably more like hoping that they, you know, that being Wichita Falls Rider, you know, was dropping the ball, going to give up a home run, boot the ball around, do things of that nature. So you see why you guys sat back all year and just expected to play like the two previous Bearcat teams with completely different players and talents. Wichita Fall Riders number 1 and 2 guy was working at getting better. They expected something too. They expected to see you guys again and to make sure that the outcome was different. And it was. So with that being said, I want to congratulate Wichita Falls Rider for doing their job. Knowing that, you know, it was going to be hard. They had a mountain to climb with Aledo, and this time they rose to the challenge. And I'm sure it was because they worked their tail off and made sure that they got better every year. But what makes me so excited for you guys is that failure. The best part that you see is that failure helps us grow, guys. It helps us become better. We don't get better with success. Success is easy. It comes, it goes, and we just expect, and that's where we fall by the wayside. But the only way that it makes us better is if and only if, we fail forward. And I hope you guys understand what I'm talking about by that. So just in case you don't, just to give you an idea, is, so what do I mean by that? You see nowadays, let's take academics. Since we're student athletes, there was an instance this year in which a player was failing a class. He decided to drop it. Do you think that's failing forward? Hell no. You take your tail, you stay in that class, and you fail until the very last stinking day. That way, when you got to retake it next year, yes, you failed. You'll know more of what to expect. Then you can put into it what you must, in order to come back and dominate it and improve on the class, improve on yourself. So, with that being said, going back to sports, how will you guys fail forward? You underclassmen, y'all need to learn from this mistake. Will you make the same mistake again? Or will you take this as a lesson learned and say, hey, we do need to establish that culture. We do need to take it upon ourselves to work our tails off and to get better next year, because we don't want to get beat out in the second round of the playoffs. There's nothing as powerful as a changed mind. If you never change your mind, the same situations will perpetuate itself over and over again because nothing inwardly changed. It's a little quote. I tend to like it. I want to throw that out there. So I hope you guys take this to heart. I hope you guys understand that, I am pulling for you, but it's time to go to work now. It's time to let all that go. You're not the same team you were 2 years ago. Now it's going to be 3 years ago that you won a state title. You can't be, you freshmen, you sophomores, you weren't even here when that team was around, so how do you know what they did? You don't. It's time for you to take a stand, you to step up, you to establish your culture, your team, and continue to move forward to bigger, better things, to new heights, to get in here and believe in one another and push each other to get better, to get back to being competitive again. So, again, hope you guys understood what I was trying to say. I know it's kind of long-winded today. I'll be back in a couple of days, parents talking more on failures and from a parenting standpoint, from a coaching standpoint. So, anyway, love you guys. Glad you could tune in. See y'all soon.